man, oh man, is it a good month for me because one of my all-time favourite filmmakers has a new project out. This looks super heartwarming. I could not be more excited for it. Hey film fans, it's Danny from We Talk Film here with the September 2023 edition of Most Wanted Movies. This is our regular roundup of all the new releases that we think are worth seeing coming out on the big screen and screening this month. So without further ado, let's dive in.
I am the smartest person I ever met and I can't figure it out, so I came to the second.
You are up to something, my friend.
What are you doing right now?
You don't want to know.
All right, lads.
How come they're getting all that stuff?
I've lost everything. I've left a war zone.
Now, as always happens when I get to do these things instead of Calvin, I've gone for the deep cuts and mostly eschewed the big studio films, but there are still a few in here for you to sink your teeth into. So, my first big pick of the month is A Haunting in Venice. This is the third of the new releases of the Agatha Christie Hercule Poirot stories, following Murder on the Orient Express and Death on the Nile. This sees the return of Kenneth Branagh's mustachioed investigator who has tried to retire to Venice, but is swept up in another murder after witnessing it at a séance. Now things get a bit spooky here, as rather than just straight up trying to find a murderer, he also must try and disprove the appearance of ghosts. Kenneth Branagh is joined in this one by Oscar winner Michelle Yeoh, Jamie Dornan and Liz Lemon. Sorry, my girl Tina Fey. Now I feel that we're really in a resurgence of the detective closed room murder mystery at the moment, so I'm sure there's going to be a lot of interest in this, and the first two really did stand up. So, if you fancy another mystery to look at, then A Haunting in Venice is out in cinemas on September 15th.
There must be a rational answer for all of this.
Just admit that you are up against something bigger than you.
No! Hiding here all this time.
Who are you talking to?
Next up, man, oh man, is it a good month for me because one of my all-time favourite filmmakers has a new project out. I am talking about John Carney. John Carney is a musician turned writer-director who creates heartwarming modern movie musicals. He previously made Once, which is one of my all-time favourite films, and Sing Street, which is one of the most heartwarming films you will ever see. His new project is called Flora and Son. It stars Eve Hewson and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Eve plays a young mother to a troubled son. They have a very strained relationship, and she tries to break through to him by getting him guitar lessons. Rather than her son getting involved in the guitar, it's her who finds her true passion for music, and the two start to mend their broken fences by creating music together. John Carney is a genius. This looks super heartwarming. I could not be more excited for it. It is out in cinemas on the 22nd of September before going straight on to Apple Plus TV a week later. That's Flora and Sons.
Happy birthday.
What's that?
It's yours.
Don't want to play. Since when am I a guitarist?
I can't go on like this, living in a shoebox with a kid who hates me.
Can't wait for the day I don't have to be here.
Go on! Go back to your dad!
It's so sexy.
Okay.
Is that why you took it off?
Let's focus on you.
Are you coming on to me?
My final pick for my top 3 of September has to go to The Old Oak. This is the final film from living legend British director Ken Loach. From Kes to I, Daniel Blake, Ken Loach has spent 60 years creating socially conscious movies that focus on the day-to-day struggles of the British working class, and his latest, The Old Oak, is no exception. It seems to follow that pattern. It's a film that tells the story of two fractured communities learning to come together, as a group of Syrian refugees move into an impoverished northern town and struggle to get along with the locals who don't understand why they're there when the own town is struggling themselves. Just the trailer alone is enough to make me cry, so I am very hopeful for this film and very happy to see it on the big screen and get the latest lowdown from one of the UK's best ever film directors. The Old Oak is out in cinemas on September 29th, just squeezing into the end of the month.
If you've got a moment, you'll come back to the pub with me. I wanted to show you the photographs in here. The whole way of life, just gone forever.
When you eat together, you stick together.
My mother always said that. The Old Oak. We need this.
It's like a bloody refugee camp.
And what's your mouth, pal? It's not charity. This is solidarity.
It takes strength to build something beautiful.
Now, let's move on to the best of the rest, and it's a pretty strong month, so honestly, any of these films could have snuck into my top 3. It was hard to choose. First up, out on the 8th of September, is Past Lives. This is a romantic drama about two childhood sweethearts coming back together after 20 years and an entire continent spent apart. This is the latest film from indie powerhouse A24, a debut feature for writer-director Celine Song, and there's an awful lot of buzz about it, so I would not be surprised if we hear more about this film come awards season. Next on my slate, also out on the 8th of September, is My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3. This sees the entire Portokalos family going to Greece for a family reunion. The original bit, My Big Fat Greek Wedding, is one of my all-time favourite rom-coms, so I've got a lot of time for this family and a lot of time for Nia Vardalos in general. Also out on the 22nd of September is Dumb Money. This stars Paul Dano, who I will say I think is the greatest actor of his generation, alongside Shailene Woodley and Seth Rogen. It's the true story of a couple of years ago when an ordinary streamer gave lots of people advice on how to game the stock markets. They all invested in GameStop and cost a lot of billionaire hedge fund owners a lot of money. If you liked Wolf of Wall Street or The Big Short, this is the sort of thing you might appreciate. Also out on the 22nd of September is Expend4bles 4, the fourth instalment and the beginning of a new trilogy in the franchise that seeks to bring the world's greatest action stars together in one film. Sylvester Stallone, Jason Statham and Dolph Lundgren are all returning, and they're adding to their roster of ridiculous martial arts stars by adding Ong Bak's Tony Jaa and The Raid's Iko Uwais. Honestly, the plot is kind of irrelevant at this point. We're just here for the action scenes. And finally, if you're in for a horror, also out on September 29th is Saw 10. Saw X? Saw 10. It kind of goes without saying at this point what Saw is about. You know what you're letting yourself in for. Here's the 10th edition. This one is actually a bit of a weird flashback. It puts itself in between the events of Saw 1 and 2. But as with the Expend4bles, does the plot matter? We're here for the horrible traps, and I'm sure there'll be plenty more of them.
This is not retribution. It's a reawakening.
So that is it for the September edition of Most Wanted Movies. I'll be trying to see all of these films whilst also locking myself in a bunker and preparing for London Film Festival, which is next month. As ever, let us know what you see, what you think, what you love, what you hate, what you think we should talk about. I'm Danny, this is We Talk Film. Come join us.